lots of video on. Thank you for sharing your lovely faces. Let me get all my windows organized. It's funny, we have the exact same number of participants in this section as I did in my other section of 111 earlier this morning. But class just started, so more people might pop in. All right, well, welcome. Let's see what we're doing. I've got my PowerPoint open. I'm going to share this with you. Oops, actually not what I wanted to share, I don't think. Stop share. Here we go. Okay. All right, everyone give me a thumbs up or down. You can be honest, it's okay, about how you are doing right now, how you're feeling. You can do it on your video if you want, or in the participants window. And it, like I said, it's okay if you're not, because I'm a little myself, not optimism wise. I'm very optimistic, but because I stayed up too late grading papers for one of my other classes. So I'm really relying on the coffee to keep me alive at the moment. So it's definitely a tea with Tony or coffee with Tony session. Okay, thank you guys for sharing. All right, this is, I recognize it for a lot of you. It's getting down to the wire, and you've got a lot going on, right? You have a lot due in all your classes, and it's really crazy trying to get everything done before Thanksgiving, right? It seems like the big deadline. So just know you're not alone. We're all kind of feeling the stress a bit, and my having stayed up till I guess it was almost 3 last night, and then having to be up for this morning's class sessions. I was grading papers last night is a clue that, you know, even those of us who tell you to manage your time well, like your instructors probably always say, right? Even those of us that do that, we don't manage our time well either. So you're not alone. We're all trying. It's just a lot is piling up right now. So, okay. All right, well, thank you for joining. And here is the order of items that we will cover today. We'll do announcements like we always do. We'll do course check-in like we always do. And then I want to talk to you a little bit about the mini symposium, which is happening next week. So I recommend you get that your part done early so that you're not having to try to juggle family visits and homework at the same time. And also I want to tell you about that today as well, because we won't be meeting next week because campus is closed on Wednesday. So we won't be meeting next week. This will be the last time I talk to you in person or remotely before the mini symposium happens. So I'll of course provide some more words via an announcement that should get emailed out to you about that too. But I just wanted to mention that. And so then after that, we will move into presentation feedback for presentations I received prior to this session. And you will have the opportunity to, if you want to share your work progress on your own presentation, there should be time to do that. And after that, we can answer general questions or discuss general issues that you guys might be having. All right, any questions so far before I jump right in? Everybody doing good? Yeah. Okay, cool. All right. All right, perfect. Okay. Okay. I know I said this last week, but I just want to point it out again. Um, Due to the number of students I've got at any given time, I would love to be able to give you more one-on-one dedicated feedback and support as you work, but it's just not possible for me to do that. So that is why the university supports us in this effort. And they have hired 3 wonderful tutors just for communication and, in particular, just for presentations, who are all ready for you guys because they know I'm teaching 2 sections of this class, and a lot of you have not done presentations like this before or presentations with me before. So it's really a good experience to, even if you only meet, you schedule, I think all their schedules say either 30 minutes or an hour. Even if you have to schedule like a block of an hour, you're probably not even going to be talking to them for 15 minutes or something. It's not going to be detailed, I don't think. Um, I think it could make a really good discussion, from peer to peer. These are students I had maybe just last quarter or a couple quarters ago. So they're in my classes very recently. And I think that that will be a really good experience for you to have a chat, and you can express your concerns and they can tell you what exactly I look for, um, and hopefully make you feel better about your progress. Okay. Before I jump into the next thing, any questions about that so far? Everybody cool? How many of you, show of hands, how many of you might call upon a tutor this week? And please don't feel any shame for doing that. It's not like, for this, it's not like it is in other courses. And really, I wouldn't say asking a tutor for help is a problem at any point for any course, honestly. But for this in particular, this is a really foreign experience for a lot of students new to communication classes, and I know it can give you some anxiety. So um, even the best presenters could benefit from just running their presentation by someone and seeing if they think it's good. Okay. All right. So let me continue here. Closing all of the cajillion windows. Okay, there we go. All right, course check-in. Who knows what we should be doing this week? You can say it. You can type it in chat. Yes, thank you, Nathan. Artifact presentation, good. Anything else? There is something else. Okay, the script for the artifact presentation. Yes, indeed. That's correct. What else? The survey. Thank you, Roby. Yes, the continuum between individualism, collectivism survey. Yes, to find out where you sit on that scale. It's a fun survey. It's short. I think you'll enjoy it. There's one other thing related to the artifact presentation, and what is that? Kind of a secondary thing that you got to do in preparation for next week. Yes, thank you, Kiana. Mini symposium. Yes, good, excellent. So here's what this looks like in your modules. If you open this week's module, this should be what you see under tasks. I've numbered them for you just to make it a little more clear. So the survey, some of you may have done it already. That's great. If you haven't done it yet, just make sure you do it by Sunday midnight. And then, as you know, term presentation due this coming Sunday night. So if you haven't started, get going. And then lastly, in preparation for the mini symposium that we will start on Monday, you need to share your presentation with the class. So there's two steps there. I want your term presentation sent to me via Canvas, via the assignment itself in the term presentation module. Okay. But then also, in order for your classmates to see that, because they can't see that when you send it to me, I want you to share your presentation with them. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about that mini symposium, just to be 100% clear. So here's what your modules should look like, right? You have term presentation up here. I've got it closed. Sample student presentation there, or collapsed, not closed. And then your mini symposium. At the moment, a lot of you, it will be grayed out, and that's because you need to submit your artifact presentation before you can get in there. Okay, so that's a prerequisite, right, to submit it. Once you do that, you just click on the discussion there, and it's just like any other discussion forum. You see some instructions. Two parts. Part one is this week, where you must share your presentation with your classmates. Now, there's a lot of text. I don't want anyone to panic or be like, what is all that? Ugh. The only reason I have so much text there is you have 3 different ways you can share your presentation. And I do this because not everyone is going to be working in the same application to create their presentation. So not everyone is going to be able to share it the same way. If you want to simply attach your presentation to a discussion forum post, the easiest thing is the top item here, this simply attach your actual presentation file. Whoops, let me go back. Sorry, I clicked the screen and it wanted to jump forward. This one here, this first bullet, that will probably only be available to you as an option if you created your presentation in PowerPoint where you can embed the audio in it. So that way your presentation is there, your audio is inside the PowerPoint, so that when you attach it to your post, all your classmates should be able to click it and watch it. They've got everything they need right there. Okay. I'm going to jump to the third option next. I probably could have put them in a reverse order here so that would be more in terms of preference. But the next one is not at the easiest one to do, but it is the easiest one for all of us as your viewers to watch. So this is probably going to be the preferred method for all your classmates, because instead of having to actually open your presentation in PowerPoint, all they have to do is click a YouTube link, and that's really easy to watch. So I have some, if you want to do that, I have some guidance here on how you can export your video for use in YouTube, for uploading to YouTube. Okay. If you have exported your video from some other application, I don't have full instructions for that, but I do up to the point where you upload to YouTube. I do tell you how to do that. But in terms of, I don't know what application you've got, and I don't know everyone's tools that you have. So, so only do that if you know how in your other application to export a video. It would need to be like an MP4 format, or I think a .avi, I believe, for YouTube to accept it. I think those are the formats it likes. Anyone who knows about these things, correct me if I misspoke just then. The middle option there, which I've skipped and I'm going to come back to now, the main reason for all this text is actually the middle option. So the middle option is for those of you who maybe created your presentation, let's say in Google Slides, where you cannot add audio into them. Your audio's got to be separate in that case, right? So for things like Google Slides, any other application where you can't just stick the audio in there and voila, it's one file. Okay. I'm going to create, I know it says that the Google Drive location is there. It's not there yet. I need to get to it. I've just been so busy. So if you happen to go in and want to share your presentation that way before I get to it, email me, shake the tree and be like, will you take care of what you said you would do, Dr. A? So in that location, you can drop all your files if they're not in one file. The reason I like PowerPoint is you can put your script down in the notes. So there's your script. You don't have a separate script. You've got your slides and you've got your audio all included in one thing. And that also makes it really easy for that exporting to a a video file for uploading to YouTube as well. Okay. So was that clear as mud? Did I did I give you way too much information? And again, I am sharing this with you now because we won't be meeting next week. But again, I will try to clarify if there's any problems sharing things to the mini symposium. I'll try to help you with that next week. And then your main task next week, which is the other thing I've got highlighted down here at the bottom, is just respond to 2 of your classmates' presentations. Okay. Hopefully you'll respond to more. You'll watch lots of them and have a good interaction, good engagement. I'm looking forward to these. They're always fun. All right, any questions on those items? Okay. Let's see. Okay, so now we're going to do presentation feedback. So let me stop sharing here. Jump out and go get section 2 student. Okay, I want to share with you a student question I had first. And forgive me, the individual who asked this question of me on email a little while ago. I haven't been able to check email again since I replied to you to see if you mind me sharing your question. I did not include your name. So this is going to be anonymous for you, but I think that my answer to this question will benefit everyone. So let me try to share this thing. Share again. Here we go. Okay. Can you, I know it's just in Notepad, so it's not that fantastic, but can you all see that? Yes? Yes? Okay, cool. All right. Okay, a question about the term presentation. They want to use the show, this particular artifact, instead of one particular episode or scene. I was wondering if I could analyze a relationship between 2 brothers that occurs throughout the show. The reason I want to change it, it relates to a lot of earlier chapters in our book, and I didn't know if we could do that instead of a particular episode or scene. Ultimately, it will come down to one scene episode toward the end of the show, but the relationship between them is a large part of it. Okay. The answer is yes, provided, as this person mentioned, there is a particular episode or scene that they might highlight toward the end of the show, and I would suggest that be your concrete example, right, that you are going to link us to or describe for us if you don't have the actual a YouTube of that scene for us. So that is one thing you can do to address that issue. Also, the idea of a relationship between 2 brothers, I would assume, includes lots of, of course, concepts and vocabulary, and that you could analyze any number of things. I'm not familiar with the show to be able to say, oh, I would pick this, this, and this, but I'm sure there's tons. So my recommendation is, yes, that's fine. Do your best before you get too deep in it to identify maybe 3 concepts or vocabulary that you're going to illustrate in their relationship, right, as components of their relationship. And then that should be part of your thesis statement. Okay, that way you focus yourself so that you're not trying to reach for the moon and cover every possible thing that you see, right? Because these presentations are actually not that long. So you just want to limit yourself. Okay. I hope that answered the question, and I don't want to single the student out so they don't have to agree or nod or do anything. But did that help the rest of you to hear the answer to that? Particularly if you're not quite done with your presentation, or maybe you're struggling with the same issue. You're like, I can't pick the single scene that I want. Did that help? I hope a little. Okay. Okay. So yeah, sometimes it is hard to identify a specific scene, but it will actually help you, if you can, it will actually help you to be more focused. So that's my reason for recommending that. And it is of benefit to us when we're not familiar with the show to see what you're talking about, to actually see it illustrated. Okay. All right, great. Okay, let's see. What are we doing? I think next I was going to pull up. Okay, I want to ask this. Well, I'll go ahead and share this one, and then I'll ask the question. Oh, it's got somebody's name in it. Hang on, let me fix it before I share it with you. I don't want the student to be outed. Okay, I'm just going to draw a box over it. Hold on. Okay. Thank you for your patience. Okay. Here we go. All right, save that. Okay, perfect. All right. Okay, so now let me share this. And this one, I didn't get a chance to pre-review it for this individual who supplied it. So they didn't get to see my comments in advance. And in fact, I haven't had a chance to look at it at all. So this is a really live, on the fly review. Hang on, I don't know why I'm not seeing what I need. Okay, that, and then I want this. All right, so I think it's interesting. Is everybody seeing this? Just make sure I shared the right thing. I've got too many windows open. You seeing the Breakfast Club slide? Yep. Hang on. Somebody give me thumbs up or nod or something. Yeah? Okay, cool. Thank you. Okay, perfect. Keeping chat open as well. Okay, so I think the choice of Breakfast Club is interesting because that is one of the movies I do typically show this class when I teach it face-to-face. So, all right, so in fact, we cover it when we on the chapter on identity. That's the ideal place to talk about it. So this, the topic of this particular presentation is social roles and stereotyping in the Breakfast Club. Right. Okay, so here we have a thesis statement, which is great. Let's read it and take a look. My chosen artifact, the Breakfast Club, illustrates social roles and stereotyping because each of the students have been stereotyped by one another and other students and follow social roles that the public has set on them. Okay, so it's good. There does need to be a little sort of grammatical finessing of it. And if you want to know how I would actually rework it, the person who sent this to me, please just email me and I'll provide you some wordsmith help there. Okay, all right. Okay, so this will be there about the artifact slide, right? And we've got the movie poster there, which is cool. And we have just a quick summary. And that's fine. Those bullets are fine. But in fact, you really don't even need those. You could take that stuff and speak it in your script, which you're probably already doing. You probably already have the script with that stuff in it. It's just nicer for us to not have a lot of text to look at if you're going to actually tell us these things. Okay. All right. Okay, so now we have our key terms or concepts slide, which is great. So we have social roles, the definition of it, and that's perfect because you've got Adler and Proctor cited right there and cited appropriately. That's great. Okay, and the design of this is very nice because it's very simplistic. Text is plenty big. We're not squinting to see. Okay, and then we have the definition of stereotypes, right? And also cited properly. Excellent, thank you. Okay. And then we get our first analysis slide. Okay, so we're going to be talking about social roles, and we're taking the character Andrew Clark. Perfect. And your script will probably go into the, to depth, and we just have some bullets here summarizing what we'll talk about, which is great. Okay. Second slide on analysis or using terms in analysis would be for this character, John Bender, we're using stereotyping to describe him, which is awesome. And then we have a conclusion. And if if your presentation was more minutes required, like time yourself, see how long this takes you. You could always jump in to the other characters because I think there's 5 total. Let's see. Yeah. So you could always jump in and do the other characters too. So just time yourself, see how long that takes you. If it's within that 7 to 10 minute range, you're great. you're golden. If you need a little more in there, go ahead and put some more, and you could add additional course concepts if you like, or just do these two on any of the subsequent characters. Okay, so here we have a conclusion, which is good because you are echoing your thesis statement. I think that's great. Let me jump back to the thesis statement again so I can take a look. Okay, so you did the right thing here with this conclusion, in that you're not only echoing your thesis statement and you're paraphrasing it so it's not verbatim, but you're giving us a little more specific detail this time than you did in the thesis, because in the thesis slide, we didn't know, let's just say for grins, that someone hasn't seen The Breakfast Club, and maybe many of you haven't. So you wouldn't want to say all that stuff that you got right here up in the thesis. Like, you wouldn't want to get too specific about character names and the details about the characters yet in your thesis, because your viewer doesn't know anything about this artifact yet, right? Or even about the course concepts. But now that you've shared that stuff, you can actually go through and say something like this as your closing, as your echo of your thesis. Okay, so that's good. All right, excellent. And now we've got references slide, and everything looks like it is formatted properly. Okay, good. So we've got the artifact there, Adler and Proctor, excellent. And then the artifact itself. Okay, good. So this is the probably a source that you used to aid you in your analysis, and that's totally fine. If you do include any YouTube clips, which I didn't check, if you did or not. If you did include any specific scenes or YouTube clips, then you'd want to cite those there too. But it's not required. I won't penalize anyone for not doing that. It's just the right thing to do. Okay, excellent. I really like that. That was good. Okay, anybody have any questions about what I just did there? Did my running through that with you kind of benefit some of you on how you are approaching your own presentations, give you some ideas on maybe how you can rework yours a little if you need to do so? Okay, cool. All right. Forgive my distraction. Someone just came to my front door and I'm trying to ignore them because I'm teaching. Okay. Unfortunately, I've got my dorm door open, so it's like clear, I'm home. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so I stopped sharing that. What else do I have in this folder that I wanted to talk to you about? Okay, so I do notice, and those of you who want me to review anything should IM me through Zoom right now. Not the on the fly folks, but anybody who I noticed that some people, well, actually a couple people submitted early last week, and those individuals, unless they want to rework their presentation for this week's extra credit, should stay put in terms of submitting their slides on Canvas, because if you stay with last week's deadline, you get the extra credit points from last Friday, right? Because I know some of you did that. If I give you feedback now, then you've got to resubmit it for the extra credit this week, which means less extra credit points. So I'm assuming those of you who submitted via Canvas, like I asked you guys to, if you wanted extra credit, are not wanting a review. I did receive one, however, yesterday, and I want that individual to verify with me. Let me see if he's here. Oh, I don't even see him. Okay. So I will assume that person wanted this week's extra credit as opposed to wanting me to review live. So, okay, cool. All right. So I just wanted to clarify that, because I initially, before I sent you guys a message about it, I did this for both sections kind of to clarify, because I was getting both things. I was getting things submitted via Canvas, which is the actual extra credit if you do it by the deadline. And I was getting things sent via email, and I needed to be sure, which do you want? Because I can't do both, because it wouldn't be fair to the other students who didn't get the feedback. So I hope that makes sense. Let me see, is there anything else I want to talk to you about with that? Okay, so that was those. All right, let me jump back into here. Okay, so now that we are, let me see how we're doing on time here. Okay, good. We have time. So are there any of you that would like to share now what you've got so far? Or if you're not prepared to do that, do you have any specific questions about your presentation or about accomplishing this? I thought I heard audio for a split second. Yes.
I
Hi.
could share mine.
Okay, great. Let me see. I hope that I can.
Would I just screen share?
Yeah, see if it'll let you. It might ask me to give you access, which I will.
Yeah, it says disabled participant screen sharing.
Okay, let's see. Advanced sharing option. Let's try this. Who can share? All participants.
All right.
Who can start sharing when someone else is sharing? We'll say
Okay.
only host at
Let's
the
see.
moment, but it should let you now. Perfect. Thank you so much.
Okay, let's start.
Okay.
So that's this. Can you guys see it?
Yes.
All right. So if that.
Okay, great. All right, so your thesis statement. Michael Scott, the lead character in the popular American sitcom The Office, illustrates the fallacy of approval because of his need to win the approval of virtually everyone, that's true. As an exception to this, Michael displays a strong sense of rumination toward HR Representative Toby Flenderson. Okay, so I really like this. Because of the second statement, and I'm not saying that it shouldn't be there, but it is complicating your thesis, right?
Yeah.
So what I would recommend is think about what the whole flow of what you're doing, and you can take that exception bit and insert it into your analysis as opposed to sticking it in your thesis. Or you can try to massage the first sentence to work rumination in there without
Okay.
talking specifically about the character Toby Flenderson, right? Because there we are starting to get into a little more detail than someone who's maybe not familiar with these characters or the
Yeah.
show would be comfortable with when they're going through this. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Okay. Okay, that's great. All right, and then you got key terms, perfect, and you have cited, that is awesome. That's good, thank you. What you get next?
I was having troubles because I inserted like the videos into the slides and then it wouldn't let me watch it when I presented.
Okay, yeah, that is what happens.
Yeah.
That is what
So
happens.
I have a slide for the fallacy of approval and rumination, but I was
Okay.
working on getting, so the rumination slide isn't here yet.
Okay, that's fine. And I like that they're separated. That
Yeah.
makes it simpler. That's good.
Mhm.
That's good. Yeah, and don't worry, for all of you, don't worry about the issue with trying to play when presenting or even trying to play YouTube links like this if you upload your own video to YouTube, because as you've seen with the videos I provide for you, the lecture videos, I can't do it either. You just can't do it. So, as far as I know.
Yeah.
There should be a way to actually when presenting to click and play a YouTube file within, but you've got to embed, and that's just a technical
Yeah.
thing, which if I can find the instructions from Microsoft, I can send those to you guys, because I looked for it myself and I found it once and was able to do it, and now I just kind of do it organically without thinking. Like, I don't remember what the steps are to get there. So you can do it when you're presenting, but just not when you're going to export the thing for use on YouTube.
Right.
So yep, yep, great.
That's pretty much all I have. I have enough.
Okay, and you got to get those done.
Yep.
Okay, awesome. That's good. You are in good shape there, I think. That's great. Okay, thank you for sharing that. All right, anybody else want to share what you have or have specific questions that you would like some feedback on? Hold on, I'm taking a look at, I don't know where my participants window went. Here it is. Anything you're dying to ask? let me ask you this. So, of those of you on the call, how many of you have at least, and you don't have to, don't worry, I'm not going to penalize you because it's not due till Sunday, right? How many of you have not even started? You're like, I don't want to single myself out. Okay, tell me how many of you are at this stage. Have you created a PowerPoint of any kind for this yet? To at least have your like some blank slides ready to go, like placeholders. Okay, so you've got some kind of an outline. Okay, thank you. Good. Okay, you got some kind of an outline. Cool, cool. How many of you know your thesis statement? Okay, that's good. That's good. Excellent. Okay, how about this? How many of you know which course concepts you're going to cover? Good. I would expect the same, some of the same individuals or all of the same individuals from the thesis question know your course concept because your course concept should be in that thesis, right? Okay, good. Good, good. Okay. Is there anybody who is still struggling to pick an artifact? That's a tough one. Do you guys know what thank you for being honest there. Do you have any particular course concepts that really spoke to you in this class that you maybe could start looking for, scanning for this week as you're watching other media? So I bet you
Well,
anything if there was, oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah.
I guess it's the thing for me, why I'm struggling to decide from a TV show or a movie that are based on the same thing, the
Oh,
same
okay.
series,
Okay.
but they're done so differently. That's why I'm struggling
Okay.
to decide
Okay.
one.
Okay. Well, that's not too bad of a problem because it sounds like you've at least got a is it something like Star Wars? Is it something really
Yes,
big like that? Is
yes.
it?
Star Wars, I would focus like on one of the TV shows, like one TV show series or one of the movies,
Okay.
like the prequels.
Okay. Okay.
The way I was like thinking of doing like something with stereotyping, because the way they show off both the prequels show off everybody compared to the TV show are different.
Okay.
That's why I'm kind of struggling because they're somewhat the same but major differences.
Are you then if you're thinking of maybe stereotyping, do you have specific characters in mind that are
Um,
common between both?
the clones actually,
Okay.
because the
So
way
that
the
could
movies
help
do
you.
it, they're
Go ahead.
brainwashed soldiers, but in the
Okay.
TV show they are more human personality based. So it's like,
Okay. Okay. So in that case, it sounds like if you were to, let's say, pick clones as your characters to analyze for this, you would probably want to go for the TV show version of them
yeah,
because you're going to have more that's directly applicable to communication, I would think, right?
yeah,
Probably. Okay. So yeah, that might be really good. I'd be interested to see what that turns out to be. And that was a wild guess when I said Star Wars. I was just like, what could there be a movie and TV episodes of? So that was the first thing that came
yeah.
to
That was
mind.
actually the exact thing I was thinking. It's like
I guess I also could have said what, like the Marvel movies. I think that's another that where there are
Marvel,
Marvel
Star
movies
Trek.
again.
There's so much
Star
stuff.
Trek as well. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Anything in that
Actually, I
sci-fi.
might do that because my dad's an expert in that stuff. I might actually consider doing that.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that could help. That could help to have an expert in the family to give you some tips. Okay. That's good. Did that answer your question or help with your issue in terms of narrowing it down, Ruby?
Yeah, I
It
did.
did. Great. Great. Who else raised their hand on that last one? Is she still with us? Ashley, there you are. Hi. Do you have any, I mean, are you kind of narrowing it down in terms of what you might select?
Yeah, I think I'm narrowing it down. I think the most difficult part is just going back through and trying to figure out what I want to do, and then also thinking about what TV show or movie or like artifact I want to do.
Okay. Yeah, it might help to You're right. Maybe scanning the book for really high level, just flipping page by page and not really, reading in detail again, but just flipping and looking at those course concepts and maybe anything that the author has offered as images and their own examples might prompt you to be like, oh, I got it. I'll do this, right? I mean, especially even if you don't know when you're doing that kind of scan, casual flipping through the book, um, do that. Here's what I recommend. Do that. Turn your brain off. Like, don't stress about it. Do that. Turn your brain off and then go do what you normally do for a day or so, right? Because you're probably going to consume some media during that time, right? And hopefully, if there's something like a film or an episode or song or whatever it is that you like to do to chill out, you might then suddenly that thing is in the back of your mind because you just read it earlier, right? You'll be like, okay, we can talk about social roles or we can talk about stereotyping in this. Awesome, I've got it. So sometimes it's a writer's block issue, really. It's like, what am I going to do? Well, maybe just review course concepts quickly, not spend too much time there, just to remind yourself of things we talked about maybe in week 2 and 3 so that you got those things fresh in your mind. And then just don't worry. Go away. And frequently that stuff will come to you. I mean, it's true that you've probably heard, famous writers and poets and artists and movie producers and etc. They'll tell you that things even come to them in dreams. It's like things just rise to the surface when you're not stressing about it. So I hope maybe that'll help for you, Ashley, and anybody else who, okay, wonderful. Anybody else who might be feeling like, this is really hard. I'd recommend too, if it gets too long and you still haven't picked an artifact, go ahead and meet with a tutor and be like, how did you ask them from their perspective? How in the world did you pick something? How in the world did you pick a concept? How in the world did you pick an artifact? Because I got to get this done. It's due Sunday. And they are there to offer you guys feedback and support at any point in the process. So it doesn't have to be a finished presentation that you bring to them, right? They fully expect that. So I hope that helps. Good. Do any others of you, we still have a little time if you do have questions, have any questions, or did any of what I just said prompt you to think of anything that you've been wondering about or concerned about?
I think I'm a little iffy on my introduction slash thesis statement.
Okay.
Um,
Did you had already sent yours to me, right? I think.
yeah, and then I dived a little bit more into it, and
Okay. Why don't you do you want to, you can share that now if you want, just that first slide if you like, and I can see if I can help you now. If I can't, then maybe email me after and I will try to help you wordsmith.
we could try to screen share real quick.
Okay. You should be able to just hit share screen and pick hopefully pick your slide and we can look at it. Okay, awesome. All right, so here's your intro. Okay, is your thesis in the intro?
Yes.
Okay.
So should
Okay.
I change that to thesis statement?
No, this is totally fine because this is like how you would do it in a paper, right? It would say something like introduction if it said heading at all, right? Okay, so you're going to discuss how different culture general can be used to communicate with people from other co-cultures. How these interactions manifest is directly related to the formal institutions of that society as they shape the abilities of the different groups to negotiate power and relevance. Okay. All right. So I think what you've got, it does need some finessing, some wordsmithing for grammatical issues, but what you've got in that last, it's essentially a phrase as it currently is, but it can be made to be a full sentence. In that last phrase there, that full thing all the way, starting from how these all the way to the period, um, we can turn that into a thesis statement, I think. Now, let me ask you this. What was your artifact again?
It was
Yes. Okay. So I would mention the artifact in your thesis statement as
okay.
one additional thing to do. We don't want to add too much complexity. We want it to be simple. But I do see some really good verbiage there in that last thing, the interactions manifesting informal institutions of society and how they shape abilities of different groups to negotiate power and relevance. That's really good. So we just need to work on that. And I'm happy to, if you want to give it a stab and maybe email it to me as your
Mhm.
thesis, and then I can give you some feedback on if I would do anything more to it. Does that
Okay.
sound okay? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I honestly think the today I'm going to discuss part, that whole sentence, you can just remove it because I think all of the stuff you say after that, even though it's a lot of big words from this class, it is saying the same thing, if that makes any sense.
Right.
Yep. Okay, cool. Cool. Awesome.
And then my key concepts.
Okay, good. Perfect. Yep. Yep.
And then kind of just diving into the background of.
Yes.
And
Good.
then
And you simplified that slide. Good.
right,
That's
and then
great. Yep.
I put my what I'm gonna actually say into the notes. And then I couldn't decide if I want to play this in the middle and then discuss on the scenes,
Okay.
like that one there. And then,
And that's totally up to you. That's just what you feel most comfortable doing. Yep.
and
Good.
so with the direction with these slides, I basically used quotes from the book that represents, what it's trying to say. And then
Yes. Okay. And
obviously,
then you're going to speak in your own words how it applies.
right.
Right. Okay. Good. Good.
And
And you
then,
separated these out. That's good. I remember
right.
us talking about doing that.
And I mainly
Good.
did that for all of them.
Good.
Uh,
Excellent.
I don't know if this is too much wording on one page.
It's probably okay because you're talking about one big concept, physical disability, right?
Right.
But you could, in theory, you could split it out and it would still be fine.
Okay.
Yep.
And then I couldn't decide if I should do a conclusion or have my video as a conclusion. So that's my next
Okay, so so thank you for asking that because now seeing the flow of your presentation, I would absolutely keep your video where it is. I
Okay.
think we do need to see that first and then create a conclusion slide. And really all your conclusion needs to do is restate your thesis for us again, but
Okay.
maybe either paraphrase it and or give us just a little more detail now that we understand both those course concepts and what the artifact is. Kind of
Okay.
what I was mentioning about that other presentation too. Take the same approach.
Right. And then my final slide.
Oh, that's excellent. You've got a lot of references. Perfect. Excellent. Thank you for sharing that because this was good for all of your classmates, all of us to see because we did review yours early on, right? So now
Right.
we're seeing the outcome of the implementation of that feedback. That's perfect. Thank you so much.
Cool.
That was good. Yeah, so just work on that thesis statement. Feel free to email it to me and I can tell you if we need to do any more with it.
Okay.
Does that help?
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, cool. Okay, so I now see, hang on, I want to make sure I'm not keeping you guys too loud. Okay, so we're right up against class time, but I did get a message from someone. Okay, okay, Lily, just email me. Lily sent me an IM. Just email me. Thank you for that. Sorry. Okay. All right, so we are done for the day. If you have any urgent issues between now and when the presentation is due, post them in discussion forum, please. so that all of us can benefit, since we can't do any more live sessions, or we're not doing any more live sessions between now and when it's due. Okay, we won't have class next week because school is closed, campus is closed on Wednesday, but we will have one more Zoom session together in dead week, the week after that, to review for your final exam. That sound good, everyone? Okay, cool. All right, well, thank you so much, and thank you for sticking around a little past closing time. And just reach out if you have any questions. Okay, thank you. Bye, guys.